Once more from the top with feeling. Well, let's make sure my sound isn't messed up this time because we don't want to have that. Okay, sounds good. We're going to remember to switch scenes this time because we forgot last time. And we're going to start over. The decks are already fixed. So this is Bob. Bob is going to be about playing items. He can play items into other people's hands. He has Sharon's Oval, so he better not die. And a bunch of other things. Importantly, he has Faustian Bargain, so I'm trying these curse cards. We'll see how it goes. He has a limit on the amount of level 0 rogue cards that he has, but I only have so many slots and spaces, so there's not really any assets in the base game that in the game that I want for Bob for the rogues. He has his cigarette case. Normally you would start with two, but I'm playing Aeon Chart with my in the thick of it with the other experience. So that gate freed up a slot. I'm playing two Darios. Some people play Leo in this space. I expect to get Leo 1, and I don't want to lose out on having Rogue Zeros. And I just don't need Leo to play the game. A lot of people that I know, or a lot of people that I talk to about the game, struggle with what to do when they don't have Leo, or like when they don't have extra actions. I'm pretty comfortable knowing that I can get through most scenarios without an extra action on the team. And then Lone Wolf, I don't know how often we're going to be alone, but it's just a way to gain resources, and we want to get to 10 for Dario, and we're going to have a lot of things to play. I thought about playing Embezzled Treasure. So it's a nifty card that basically converts your extra money into money for the next game. But I just didn't have the extra slot. It would basically be this Faustian Bargain. So we'll talk about it, I guess, if it comes up. And then this is Zoe's deck. I'm playing another Underworld support. So Zoe gets access to 5 level 0s from any class that's not Guardian, and she gets all the Guardians. So she'll pick Underworld support as 1, Astounding Revelation is 2. We intend to have Backpack to go with our Prepared for the Worst, and then we'll have Prepared for the Worst understick to the plan. So we're going to have a lot of ways to search. This is just a way basically to get free money and thin out our deck so we can get our weapons very quickly. She takes Water Protection for encounter deck shenanigans, and then she has David Renfield for resources and willpower, and Sixth Sense to potentially investigate. She has actually very high willpower, so any checks for willpower will go pretty well for her. She also has Steadfast in her deck, which is going to really help with those kind of checks. She gets to play Guts and Overpower, and then Enchant Weapon will also use her willpower. Eventually, we're going to get other things that are going to use that. Cyclopean Hammer has both willpower and combat icons on it, and we're going to play well prepared so we can use both sides of it. Like, it's a lot of the deck's going to work out really fun. It's just going to take a little bit of XP to get rolling. So hopefully that goes well. We're going to remember now to switch scenes because that's what we just forgot to do after playing. We had so the first mission didn't go so well, but I had no audio. Second mission went very well, but I didn't switch scenes back. So once more from the top with feeling, right? We're going to start in Riddles and Rain as the prologue. We're going to do standard difficulty, hop into the book quick and go over it for people who are just joining in, who missed the previous missions. So keys, they're a card type now instead of being the little tokens that we've used in the past. They're going to have two sides, stable and unstable, and there's going to be a cost to flipping from one to the other. Usually to go from unstable to stable, you have to do a bad thing, and to use it for the good thing on the stable side, you have to go to unstable. So that's how it works. You can use the keys as a fast action, so they don't take up an extra thing. But they will stay with their bearer. They don't like drop onto locations like the old keys did. The Red Glove Man is not purchasable by experience because he is going to play a pivotal part in the mission, in the storyline, so he is out of the game. There's a new keyword called Concealed. It's going to involve these little mini cards, and they're going to go on locations. I'll explain it a bit more when we get to it. But in short, you have to put one at your location, and then as close to you as possible at connecting locations, you keep putting more decoys down equal to the concealed number. You have to either attack or investigate the shroud value of the location. If you succeed, you reveal the card, and if it's the decoy, it gets removed, and if it's the monster, in this case the Red Glove Man, it would spawn with at the location, and then you can choose which investigator at that location it goes to. It's not as if it has prey or that you pulled it. It just is revealed or exposed, I think is the word they use. Um, so, uh, And then over here, these are how the mini cards work. In short, like it's what I just said. And then the other thing that they mention is that if all of the monsters leave the shadows, basically if you find all of the actual monsters, the rest of the decoys get discarded. They don't stay in play. Alert is an old keyword. Basically, if you try to evade something and you fail, the monster attacks you. It's like retaliate but for evade instead of attack. Patrol, think of it like hunter to the location. So if you're like patrol, well, there's only one location here, but it's not a good one. So a good example, Rainy London Streets. If it's just like patrol to the Rainy London Streets, and it was like 3 or 4 locations away, it would move towards that like it was prey until it engaged with an investigator or was blocked by some kind of card or something like that, some kind of effect. Alright, so we're going to start here. There are 2 investigators. We're going to go alone as requested, which is intro 3, which sends us to intro 5. In intro 5, we have to decide whether or not we're going to take the offer. So we're going to take it, which removes the the elder thing, and adds a second tablet, which we're fine with. I did click standard, right? Yep. Okay, and then we're going to mark a time in our campaign book up here. Both investigators have in the thick of it. Zoe's going to take hers as physical, and Bob's going to take his as mental, which reminds me that I need to re-enter the deck codes because I reloaded the game from scratch. So Zoe is going to be on the right, and Bob is going to be on the left. We can click build. The game will freeze up a little bit as those are coming in. But okay, so the rest of this up here, tracking time. So whenever we track time, we mark it. When a box gets checked off that has an icon, we have to go to page 69 and resolve that, then continue, and we get to play. So everything is set up, and we are ready to begin. So we're going to need to shuffle the encounter deck, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. We are at the Rainy London Streets. Bob is here. Zoe's going to be the lead investigator. We are going to grab that. Alright, so as I said, we have in the thick of it. We can ignore this. There's no, as you can see, there's no checks on it for the Runic Axe. It's just base 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whoop, come on, 5. Okay, we're going to keep our cross, and we're going to get rid of the rest of it. Although Safeguard is great and we love it early, we need to find weapons. Our cross is kind of a weapon, so it's why we're keeping it. Oh, come on, game. Alright, well, as you can see, it loves me. Oh, we don't get 6 cards. I was so used to playing Diana. Alright, so, yeah. So then Bob's turn. Oh, we have to add all of our cool little abilities. Alright, so we want draw 1 button, and the hand helper, the search assistant, and the cleanup helper. Okay. Right, just double checking. Right. And then Bob has the obol and in the thick of it. So like we said, he'll need 2 sanity and she'll need 2 physical. Alright. And then Bob needs to get his deck, or his hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, well, we'll keep the flashlight and send the rest. We can keep... No, we don't have enough resources generation to keep Dario. Well, it's a good thing we didn't keep that one. That's a good card, the Chauffeurs. Okay, well, it could have been worse. We've had worse, for sure. Alright, so then we're going to go here. We're +3 to the location. So we're just going to start investigating right off the rip because we want to get these clues quickly. So we succeed, we succeed, we succeed. That's 3 clues for Bob. He also gets a item action once per turn. So he's going to use it to play the Chauffeur's Catalog for 1 resource. Oh no, sorry, 2 resources. The reduction is if he has a signature card, which I've had the last 2 games. Alright. So now it's Zoe's turn. She's going to start by drawing a card, looking for a weapon. She'll repeat that process. And then she's going to play her cross in case we draw a monster. That way she can fight. We'll go to upkeep. and upkeep. We'll throw a Doom on the agenda, make sure we shuffle, and encounter card. Okay. If you fail a skill test with a mini at your location, you take horror, which is not good for Zoe. And if you have a clue, you must test. For each plate you fail by, place a clue on your location. So we are testing even. We're just going to take heart in the knowledge that we are going to fail this check and hope that we do relatively well. Hey! What better way to pass a check than to commit to take heart to it? So we get +1, so we succeed. All right. So we're gonna spend our first turn. Well, we're gonna let Bob go first. I think Bob is going to use his item action to spend 2 charges or 2 secrets off of Schofner's catalog to play out a flashlight. Then he's going to investigate the location. He'll succeed and get the last clue, which we will then use to advance. Put the set aside locations into play. So we need to go in here, grab them out. So we have Big Ben. No, Big Ben goes above. Let's be real. Westminster Abbey and the Kensington Gardens. Okay. Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, Kensington Gardens. The lead investigator draws to set aside a red-gloved man. Okay. So he has concealed 2, so what we do is we take his top card and 2 decoys. 1, 2. We flip it over, put them at this location, and then 2 other locations, so we'll do that. And then advance directly to Agenda 2A, do not resolve Agenda 1B. So we just take this and do that. So there went from 2 to 4, so we have another turn. So Bob will go again. We'll investigate +3. There is a card in the shadow, so we have to reveal again. That's no clues, so it's -1, so we succeed. It is a decoy, so that's that. We have 1 action remaining, and we're going to use that to play Lone Wolf. Alright, so they're done. Zoe's going to move up. This is a Shroud of 4, so she's probably not going to mess with that, and she's going to discard this. That way she's okay. Alright, upkeep, and upkeep. Doom on the agenda, 2 of 4, and encounter cards. Right, this is, yep. Test willpower 3. For each point you fail by, you take horror or drop clues. Well, we don't want to take horror on Zoe, so we're going to test it. We're +1, and we'll go +4. We succeed. Whoop. There we go. We must either choose to spend a clue or discard half the cards in our hand. Well, we don't have clues, so we discard the cards in our hand, round it up, and we pick them. So we're going to keep Dario, because we don't know where the other ones are. Okay. So we'll begin. Bob's by himself, so we get Lone Wolf money. We'll move to this location. You can... Alright, well maybe we'll take horror, maybe we'll not. We'll make it a test of 0 and investigate the location. So we succeed. It's a decoy, huzzah! Oop. So decoy would heal a horror, but I don't believe we have any on us. Oh no, we do, because we took our trauma as horror. That's cool. And then we'll investigate the location once again, making it 0. So we succeed, and we'll take the clue. So we did move, investigate, move, investigate, investigate. Zoe will fight. She'll use daring, so she is 7 to 4 is +3. That's -3, so she'll succeed, but that shouldn't be in the bag. Oh, I clicked standard again. That's fine. So that would be a tablet, which means we pull again. But that's still -2, so we'll succeed. And then we'll draw a card from daring. That will be the red glove man, which will advance us again. Set him aside. Oop. Set him aside out of play. Put the other locations into play. So Tower Bridge and the Tower of London. Shuffle the 2 encounter sets into the deck along with the discard pile. and set him aside out of play. He's no longer in the shadows. Alright, so that gets his card will go up there with him. Zoe's probably not going to be getting those clues. She's good at a lot of things, but that's a pretty high number. So I think what we're going to do instead, so I was action 1 was fighting. We don't want to do that yet. We don't need to do any of these things. I think we want to draw a card looking for a weapon. Alright, and then we will play Prepared for the Worst, looking for a weapon, looking at the top 9. We hit our Astounding Revelation, so we get 2 resources, and then we could pick any of these weapons. It's 2 campaigns in a row. That's okay. It could be worse. We don't need cards to play Arkham. Just gotta play them out. Only 1 weapon, so we'll take. We'll take the Enchanted Blade. End our search. Put that into our deck. Our hand, rather. And there we go. All right. So that's all 3 for both. So we go upkeep. Yep. And upkeep. She'll need to discard 1. I don't think we're going to get a good chance to play David. And we don't need the soak, so I think David's the card. Yeah. Alright. So then Doom on the agenda, 3 of... Oh, sorry, and then I believe we were supposed to advance as well, right? Yeah, advance to the next agenda, sorry. So it's 3 of 9, right? Yeah. And then encounter card. Well, we don't want to lose our cross, so we're testing even. We'll go... Oh, here we go. We'll go +3. We fail. Okay. Love you, game. And encounter card. Monster. Cool. And it engages us, so we need to... Top card of our deck. It's not a weakness, so it goes away as a hollow. Alright. Well then. I guess Zoe will move, and then fight. It is 3. So Zoe's +1. She'll commit Vicious Blow to be +2. And Physical Training to be +3. I love this game sometimes. Alright, well, not much to be done here. We will punch, and punch, and punch. Hey, that one hit. Alright, go to, oh, and then, we can use our, we could do it, but I don't want to, so we'll go upkeep, and upkeep. Bob will take 1 and 1. Doom on the agenda, and encounter cards. Okay, Zoe, that's not a monster. And encounter card, makes the shroud harder, of course. Alright, so Zoe got engaged, so she gets a resource. She is going to need to play a weapon, so she will. She'll get an attack of opportunity for that. She'll use the blade and the charge on it, so she is +3. She'll kill hers, and then she'll just attack the other one and kill that. That's her 3 actions. 1, 2, 3. Bob will use the flashlight to drop the shroud. So it's back to 2, so we're +2. We succeed, so we'll get the clue and discard Obscuring Fog. Okay. And then Bob will move. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then with his item action, he'll drop down an old keyring using the money off Schofner's catalog. So upkeep. Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. Upkeep. I love you, game. Sometimes the game has a sense of humor, right? So I guess we'll discard this. And, oh boy. I guess that doing the agenda and encounter cards. Okay, no clue, so Surge. Sure, game. Oh, all right. I guess you do have a sense of humor sometimes. What is this? So we're at 0, so we're failing, so we're taking horror. Cool. Let's see how much horror we're taking. All of it. So 3. Okay. So we'll click that off because we're not going to deal with that as a long-standing affair. We'll commit the keyring charge to make this a 2 shroud, so we're +1. Oh, sorry, we get all our stats back. We're +2. We'll pull, and we succeed, and we'll do it again, and we fail. So we keep. Oh no, we can only do it once anyway, so it doesn't matter. But with our other item action, we will drop down this keyring, and we get Lone Wolf money. We did 1 clue. So we did 2 to click off the weakness and 1 to investigate, and we lose the charge for it. Alright, Diana's turn. She's going to spend 3 resources to play Enchant Weapon on the Blade. And then, I said Diana, but I meant Zoe, and then she'll move twice. Okay. Upkeep. That's fine. Upkeep. That's great. Doom in the agenda and encounter cards. There is nothing in the dark, so Surge. Okay. Spend a clue or discard half the cards in your hand. We'll spend a clue. We like to keep both of these cards. Alright, so Bob will go first. Lone Wolf money. We'll spend 1, 2, 3, 4 resources to play Dario. We'll spend 1 resource to play Emergency Cash, which is going to give us willpower and intellect for Dario, having 10 resources, and then we'll investigate +3. We will succeed, so Old Keyring will poof, and we will get this clue. Alright, so now it's Zoe's turn. Zoe will click this off and spend 2 resources to play Med Student. Then we'll go upkeeps. Okay, she pulls Smite the Wicked. She's here, so that will be the furthest. And then we go looking for a monster. Okay, it's got Hunter, which is good. Upkeep for Bob. Okay. Doom in the agenda and encounter card. I'm pretty sure I clicked it, but alright. If there are no enemies in the shadows, it gains Surge. Enemy for the shadows. Alright. So Zoe's here. So we need to take A, decoy, decoy, flip, put 1 down, put 1 down, put 1 down. Alright. We will then draw for Bob. Location with the most clues, so that's this one. Alright. So then it's our turn. We'll have Bob go first. So he'll get a resource. He'll investigate his location, +3. Success. There is a monster in the shadows. That's a fail, actually. So we'll do it again. We succeed because we have that, so it's -3, 6, 3. We succeed. Okay, it's a decoy. We'll have Zoe. And then 1 more action. We'll move down here because there's clues. So the second one we got rid of it. So we did investigate, fail, investigate, pass, move, and then we are going to play the Talisman of Protection for ourselves. Well, no. When we have time, we're gonna play assets for other people. We'll play the blade over there for Zoe, in case she needs to get extra hits in or something. Sorry, I had to play 3 times, so I'm a little hungry. We're going to attack. We're going to use the blade. We're like +1 billion. We succeed. Alright, it's a decoy. So it's a test of 5, so we're -1, so we're going to fail. So let's draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Oh, those are both good cards. Alright, upkeep. Oof. I guess we will discard. Yeah, whatever. I didn't do things, so we'll discard that one. And upkeep for Bob. Doom on the agenda, and encounter cards. There is an enemy in the dark, so we'll have it attack Zoe. So we'll use our med student. That was easy. Place a doom on an enemy in the shadows. Okay. Alright, so that's done. So we'll have Zoe go. Zoe will make this test. They will go +2, or sorry, +1. Yep, I guess +1 it is. Thanks, game. Every now and again, you're nice to me. Then Zoe will move into here. The doom on it won't matter, so we can leave it. So we'll take the opportunity to get our 6th sense down. Bob is just going to investigate, +4, so we'll pass. And we'll pass since there's nobody in the shadows here. So that's Bob's 2. He'll also get Lone Wolf money. We'll use our fast action to play Talisman of Protection on ourselves, and then we will also move into this location. Alright, so we do upkeep over here, upkeep over there. Doom on the agenda will advance us. The lead investigator must decide to get another guy or take a damage and a horror for each person. So we'll do damage and a horror, so Dario will take each of those. And Zoe just takes 1 of each. Alright, so then we do encounter cards. Okay, don't fail skill tests with things in the shadows nearby. And we will spend a clue to block 2 damage. Alright, so we'll have Zoe go first. She will fight the location. She's +3. We'll go +1 billion. We have to pull another one, so it's -3, but we are 8, so we succeed. We know it's the coterie agent because there's no more decoys left. We'll then fight. There's nothing in the shadows anymore, so it just dies. And then we'll move down. Okay, Bob will go. He gets Lone Wolf money. He'll move down and investigate the location. It's a shroud of 2. Commit perception to be. Actually, we'll just. Yeah, we'll commit perception. So we're 7 to 2 is +5. There's nothing in the shadows, so we succeed. So we draw a card from perception. We moved and we investigated. And we played our. No, that was last time we played Talisman. We don't have an item. He doesn't have an item. So we'll just investigate +3. And we succeeded. Alright. So we're stacked up. Upkeeps. And upkeep. Okay. Doom on the agenda and encounter card. Willpower test. Failure is horror. We have plenty of horror to give, so that's fine. So we will just test +1. We succeed. There are no enemies in the shadows, so we go get one, and this doesn't work when somebody else draws it. So we don't want to get more of those, so we'll take this one. That's C, so it's the bottom, and 2 decoys. Okay, we're here, so we have to put 1 behind and 1 in front. Oh, this is a hunter. It should have moved. I haven't been paying attention. Okay. Well, we that's what we did. We spawned that like 3 turns ago. Alright, well, we did what we did. We can't fix it now. It's too late. I'll have Zoe move in. We have to spend 4 clues to do that, per the text on the tower. This will engage us. As part of it engaging us, we gain a resource. If you end your turn here, you either lose 2 resources or get attacked by every enemy in the shadows. So Act 2, or she'll attack it. She's going to use the charge to get an extra damage. And she succeeds. So this goes into the discard pile. And then with our remaining action, we're going to investigate the location at +1. Hey, we succeed. And we'll grab a clue. Oh, that sucks that it tells me. Alright, well, I don't want to know. We're going to investigate. We're +3. We're alone, so we get Lone Wolf money. There's an enemy in the shadows, so we pull again. We pull again. We succeed. And hey, it's a decoy. Alright, I gotta be careful to not mouse over them. Part of me wants to go up and secure it, but I just don't think we have time. We'll deal with it if we end up pulling it. So we'll move. So we investigated, we moved. Oh, damn it. I did. It's just my natural. I was trying to get to this. I would investigate, so let's do it. We are 5 to 3 is +2. That's fine. We succeed. Oh, I can take the clue. Yeah, I would just take the clue, because we don't have actions. Okay, good. And then we don't have items to play, so upkeep. And upkeep. Then we only get a 3-card hand over here, so we'll discard this. Doom on the agenda, and encounter cards. Sure, you can make this location harder. And there's no clues in play, so that's fine. Well, every now and again the game is nice to you. So we will have Zoe go first. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 6 clues. We got them all? Wait, what? Okay, well, Zoe will go first. She will attack the location. She succeeds. It's the coterie agent. She'll attack with the blade. She succeeds. And I guess she'll move up, question mark, to set up to make that test if we need to. I really didn't, actually no, there's no way. We're just going to have Bob go make the test. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll play Greet. Alright, so Bob will go up. Oh, sorry, not Bob. Yes, Bob. Alright, so Bob doesn't get Lone Wolf money, but he's plenty rich. And we are going to make this test. So it's an even test. We expect to fail. We do fail. There is not a concealed mini, but that's fine. We're going to use live and learn, so we're going to be +2, and then we're going to go +4. So we succeed, so we're going to put the Trader's Gate into play, and then we're going to move to it. So that's our 3. And yeah, okay. Upkeep and upkeep. And then Doom on the agenda and encounter cards. So the only hollows oh, Zoe's never going to have this happen, so that's fine. It can't happen to her because all of her cards are singletons, and that only works if they are multiples. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. Well, we just did the math, and we need to do damage because we don't have extra clues. Alright, so Bob will go first. We'll get our Lone Wolf money, and then we will investigate the location. We are +1. So we would fail, so instead we'll retest. We are +3. We auto-fail. Cool. We'll test +1. There's nothing in the shadow, so we pass. And then I guess we'll use our... No, we need to save this for later. We'll test +1. We auto-failed. Good thing. Alright, well, Bob's turn sucked. Zoe could come help, but instead we're going to deal with one of these, and gaining a resource, yeah. Alright, upkeep, we need to chuck one of these. I think this one will matter. This one will matter the least based on what's going on. And then upkeep over here. Not a great card for right now. Encounter. Zoe does have a clue now, so she has to test. She's -2. Yeah, we're just gonna play Water Protection and put a horror onto Greet and not deal with that. And then over here, 2 damage would kill us, so we have to spend a clue so we can advance? Oh no, never mind. Give me that clue back. So when you take damage that would kill you, you cancel up to 2 of it. So we're going to use our talisman here. Okay. Bob will go first. Lone Wolf money. And we'll test. We are +1. We'll go +2 and we'll commit the keyring charge. So we succeed. So that's 4. Then we'll move in and spend 6 clues to advance. So we investigated and moved. It's 2 actions. Okay, put the set aside Tower Prison into play. Attach the set aside Eye of the Ravens to the prison. Spawn the Red Glove Man into the shadows. Take his mini. Since there's nothing in the shadows, the decoy gets discarded like I was saying before. I forgot to do that, but we had gotten rid of the monster. And put everything here. So then Bob will move into the prison with his final action. And there wasn't an opportunity to play an item. Well, I guess we could play this, sure. So we'll spend 3 on the Derringer just in case. Alright, so Zoe will go. She will come down. And she will investigate the location. So she's even. She'll use Guts to go +2. There is things in the shadows, but she'll succeed anyway. So the Guts does not go into the discard pile because drawing it is part of the resolution. We'll take a horror and draw a card. Guts goes there. Clue comes here. And then we'll play physical training. So we moved, we investigated, and we played physical training. Upkeep. And upkeep. Okay, draw a card. Okay. There is an enemy in the shadows, so we have to test. Okay, so we are +1. We're going to go +3 because we don't want to do that. And we succeed. Alright. Well, Zoe's got a friend to deal with, so she's going to try to do that. She is going to use her Enchanted Blade and the charge. So she is 4, 5, 6, 10 to 4. So we succeed, so it'll deal 3 damage, 1 from the charge, 1 from the blade, 1 from the enchanted weapon. So that's 3. Then she'll fight again, so she's 5. She'll go 6. She'll go 7. 7's +3, yeah. She succeeds, and it does an extra damage because of her star. Oh, and then when this came into play, what is this? You choose a non-weakness card in their hand or play area to be a hollow. Okay, so she would have picked that. And this would be in the discard area, and I would pick that because Lone Wolf's gone. Alright, but this goes to the display, and we have got 1 action remaining suddenly that we didn't anticipate having a moment ago. I guess we should have played our scene of the crime. We could have been greedy. But instead, we're going to investigate +2. And we failed. Alright. Bob's turn to investigate. We are +1. That's also not great. But sure, let's go. We succeed. There is a thing in the shadows, but we succeed. And I feel like another one would be greedy. So, but, like, what's the penalty, right? Like, sure, let's do it. Alright, that's a failure. Okay. Alright, so then upkeep. And upkeep. Doom on the agenda, and encounter cards. Okay, so she can't have a hollow, so just top card. It's a weakness, so it stays there. Okay. And then spend a clue or discard half the non-hand. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to discard emergency cash. That's pretty easy. All right. So yeah, we have some actions to do. Zoe is going to attack the location. That's a success, so we take this over. It's a decoy. She's going to attack the location with this, so it's +1, +2, +3. She'll spend a clue to go +4. So a success. Okay, and then she'll attack the location again, and we'll spend this and plus this, so we're +3. So we succeed. So it's the Red Glove Man, so he comes into play, and we'll engage him with Zoe. Alright, we are going to attempt an investigation. We succeed. Then we're going to spend the clue to try the test. We succeed. Now there's nothing in the shadows, so we don't pull again, and we're going to use both clues. Oh, the red squid of doom at the worst possible time. We don't have another action. We greeted for the victory, and instead we're going to get punished. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be super punishing too, because we know that this is this. Uh, so, I don't even know how this works. I'll have to look up that in the future, but that's going to advance us in the Mythos phase, so I'm not going to bother going through all the extra steps here. So we have 20 resources, so this does nothing. Or it does 1 horror, rather. But this comes into play, and then we're going to take a mental trauma for Zoe, which is not great at all. And then we advance over here. It's Act 4, so Resolution 3. Wow, that's a really brutal red squid there. We had a couple of those tonight. Alright, we get victory equal to the display. Oh, sorry. Is this resolution? No, it's resolution 2. Whoops. Victory equal to the display. The Red Glove Man becomes the bearer of the Eye of Ravens, and we haven't seen the last of the Red Glove Man. Mark a time in the log. We're just going to abbreviate the Red Glove Man to RGM. The Red Glove Man. Okay. We marked the time. We did him as the bearer. Okay. Then we come into here. We have to decide if we're going to work with Taylor or not, so we will work with him. So we're going to add another broken tablet and take out another Elder thing, but there isn't any. Move along. And then we can see all these different locations. I'll look them up on my own time. We can do embarking, so you'll see up here there's a giant map, and we can move around the map. Each space that we touch when we move takes a time. There's a limited amount of time before the campaign ends, so you don't want to backtrack too much or double step. You can't go into a location twice unless you're told otherwise, so even if you go over a place that you've already been, you can't stop there unless it says otherwise in the game. Green locations are skipped unless you want to do side scenarios. I almost never do them because you can skip the time on them by not going to them. They give it like a direct flight. And then you can't go to any red location unless you're told to go there by the game. So London's connected to, I mean, essentially everywhere, but we're going to try to move as little as possible. We'll probably do like Rome or maybe Constantinople, something like that from the beginning. I'll look over the options on my own time, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, what I decided. But yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. We would have been able to get the Eye of Ravens, which lets you set a stat to 6, and then draw encounter cards to flip it back, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, we get 4 XP because we did find the big monster this time, which is good. That's enough to get the hammer for Zoe, so that's an exciting thing. If we had gotten that last check, we would have been able to advance this way with the resources and add him to the victory display. That was the goal, but we got punished. Well, thank you for bearing with me through all the technological difficulties, and we'll be back tomorrow with scenario 2 with 4 XP for um, Zoe and 6 for Bob because of the Obel. Because even though we didn't get a good scenario, we did not get defeated. So, have a good night.